shot.
Complete player, Akeem Ellis has showcased his skill set in this series. That's a definite nice move inside from number 31, Flenard Whitfield. He gets around the express D and scores at the hoop, makes it 17-14. Shot is off the mark. Ashton Smith in transition, leaves it over to Whitfield. Hands it off to Ellis. He drives left, back to the hoop, scores and one. And once he gets a full head of steam, Mitch, he's very hard to stop.
And he's a big guard at 6'6", 215 pounds. The other Akeem Scott, 6'1", 180 pounds, but he plays like a stick of dynamite.
At the line for Brampton, Akeem
Ellis completes the three-point play, ties this game up at 17 with 4:20 remaining in the first quarter on Knoxstrom.tv, the home of the Windsor Express. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Bennett backing down. Ashton Smith swings it over to Kevin. Off the bounce to Loisel. He kicks it out. 2 passes later, it's Anderson. Oh, he just can't finish.
I'm impressed with Kevin Loisel's ball facilitation there.
Smith circles around looking for a mismatch, swings it over to Ellis. He rises and shoots, knocks down the 3. Doesn't take long for him to heat up, 6 straight points.
No, and Commons needs to do something defensively. He's got to give us a little bit of a better effort there.
Jamarcus Ellis and Kirk Williams Jr. coming off the bench soon. There's Anderson, can't knock down the jumper.
And those 2 subs that you just said, Brett, coming in are the guys you want right now.
Smith off the bounce. Going inside, no, over to Oliver. They swing it over to Tyshawn Edmondson. Nice dish pass, and Oliver scores at the hoop. And Brampton takes a 5-point lead.
He got in behind Kevin Loisel. Brampton with his step on the Express right now, and that's one of the problems we've seen when we were playing here.
Quinnell knocks down the jumper.
And a much-needed Windsor basket.
Smith keeps it out to Whitfield. Driving, shooting. Offensive foul. Ross Eisen looked down to Paul Carter to make sure.
It was close, but he got it.
Yep.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah. Those can either go either way, and you can't argue. So.
Yeah, there was no flop. I just, did he get the feet planted in time? He did. Turnover and big defensive play.
Big job by the officials here. You never know how difficult it is to ref a game, I'm sure. They'd like to tell you. And that's like we always say, we've got headsets on and they have gray shirts. So good job for the referees conferring that signal. Turnover the other end, the Windsor Express.
Not a good pass by Jamarcus Ellis. Passing it into traffic.
So Gibson, Loisel, Williams, Ellis, and Brown at the helm for the Express at the time. 19-22, they trail. 2:33 to go in the queue. Whitfield against Loisel, looking to face up, puts the ball on the hoop, step back jumper, knocks it down. Good patience by the big man there.
Textbook shot there.
Gibson using a screen. Ball rotates over to Jamarcus. He goes off the bounce. Rising shooting. Leaves it short. Loisel was there to try and get it, but he can't. Ellis in transition. Whitfield faces up, rising shooting, draws a foul on Loisel. Quick release right there. I think he caught Loisel off guard there.
And I was just looking at the bench and thinking it'd be a good time to get DeAndre in the game, and there he is.
DeAndre checking in for Loisel.
Taking 2 shots at the line.
And Flenard Whitfield will go to the line. 6'7", 240-pound forward. Misses the first. He's not from too far away from here. According to this, they say that Flenard is from Detroit, Michigan. Whitfield splits the pair. Brampton goes up 6 here in the early going. 1:40 to go.
Brett, do you know how many players from the Windsor Express are from Chicago, Illinois?
5.
I believe you're correct. It is. It's 5.
Pass.
Tough city.
DeAndre's tried to get an interior pass to Quinnell Brown. It's out of his reach. Another turnover. And for every turnover Windsor has, it seems that Brampton's getting a bucket. He's taking a 6-point lead here today. Whitfield for 3. Big fella knocks it down from Detroit, Michigan.
And lots of space to shoot. And what you just said is points off turnovers. Those absolutely kill you, certainly in the playoffs.
Windsor needing a basket here. Garrett Gibson looking inside. DeAndre at the high post, sweeps through. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul to number 2. DeAndre.
Tough call.
Yep.
Tough call there.
We always say that it can go either way. Can't argue either way. Ellis off the bounce, nice drop. Oh, can't get the teardrop to go. That would have been a pretty finish.
And DeAndre with a great hands-up defensive play, not committing the foul.
Quinnell rising, shooting. Oh, just can't get it to drop home. That would have been a big basket for Windsor.
They could really use a stop here and potentially a basket to close the quarter.
Coach Magley almost, well, not at half court. He's right at his designated spot line, telling them to wait, drain the clock. Whitfield travels. Big turnover there from Brampton.
Yeah, 13.7 left on the clock, and a chance for Windsor to close the quarter out on a positive. So we'll have to see what's in store.
Ellis with 10 seconds to go. Looking inside, swings it out to Quinnell. Kirk trying to sweep through. He doesn't have time. He drives, shoots, gets the tip in.
That's
to
good.
Go. All heart and hustle. You switched up on Akeem Scott. That's not the matchup you want. Not a bad foul to take there.
And in comes Tony Bennett and his retro 13s. I love those shoes.
Tyshawn Edmondson off the bounce, hands it off to Whitfield. And a foul's going to be called on the drive. No shots. So to the baseline we will go.
Tough game so far. The Express with a 4-point lead, 5:31 left in the second quarter. Kirk Williams Jr. will take a seat, and in comes DeAndre Thomas.
Oliver off the inbound, spins in the middle, kicks it back out to Ashton Smith. Ellis lets go of the 3 from way downtown, misses wide. Air ball.
Walking a little gingerly. The Express defense have showed up tonight, and it's paying off, forcing misses from the Brampton A's.
36-32 the score, high screen and roll. Bennett, pass to the corner is picked off by Edmondson. Nice crossover, 2 of them, but he gets picked the second time. Quinnell in transition. Goes one-on-one, he's backing out on Whitfield. A lot of speed there, rising up, shooting. Ooh, just can't get it to fall.
That would have been a gorgeous shot, but I like the active hands by Ryan Anderson, able to create the turnover with the steal.
Smith kicks it out to Tyshawn Edmondson. No good, off the side of the basket. Lead pass to Quinnell Brown. He scores at the rim.
And the Brampton A's looking for fouls at the other end. You're not going to get them. They need to get back and play some defense. good news for the Express.
Flenard Whitfield is blocked for the three-pointer, gets the second shot off, and then gets it to fall. Nice resiliency from Whitfield there. See Coach Aaron McDonald of the Express talking to DeAndre Thomas, telling him he's got to get out on that shooter, but some crazy circumstances there. Off the block, off a shin, he gets it right back, lets it go.
The Brampton's missed a lot of shots, and they could just as easily fall, so we definitely want to contest the best we can, right?
Quinnell leaves it up to DeAndre after driving baseline. He spins, leaves it short on the left side. And Ashton Smith gets fouled from Commons in transition. Not a bad strategy, trying to limit the transition opportunities from Brampton, where they've really cashed in on this series. Give up the fouls when you can, slow it down, play a half-court game. There's Smith driving to the basket, gets fouled by Bennett. So, Express with fouls to Commons and Bennett in successive possessions. Brampton goes to the line. 3:51 to go in the second Q.
2 on Bennett, I believe.
Yes. Smith knocks down the first free throw. Ashton Smith, another Canadian from Scarborough, Ontario. 6'2", 190-pound guard. Pair of free throws makes this a one-point game here with a few minutes before halftime. Stay tuned, folks. After we go to break, we'll have Megan McPeak for about 5 minutes here during halftime. So Brampton A's fans, stay tuned.
They are all over DeAndre down low. They're not giving him any room to do anything. Fortunately, the Windsor got the basketball back there.
Up by 1, Anderson rising, shooting, scoring.
Stops on a dime. Able to hit from about 8 feet. Who else? Ryan Anderson.
At least 10 points from Anderson here. Sorry we don't have exact totals right now. Seem to be having some problems with the score. Stats, that is. Oh, Whitfield tried to go for a big dunk over Commons. Got a little short, but knocked it down. Windsor Express basketball.
Great effort again on the defensive end.
And a big first half for the Detroit, Michigan native Flenard Whitfield. Knocking down a 3 early and having an inside presence. Bennett off the bounce. Draws a foul on the drive.
What a pass.
And DeAndre was upset because he didn't get a chance to finish that play.
Which he would have. Tony Bennett chucks it behind his head. Finds DeAndre in the key.
Quinnell Brown on the shorts, on the far side, pardon me. Brings it back out to the middle, going inside to Commons. He's got Ellis on him, turning, shooting. DeAndre with the pass / offensive rebound, scores at the hoop, making a 5-point lead.
Cleaning up a tough shot by Chris Commons.
Whitfield for 3, knocks it down.
Whistle went first, I believe.
And they're going to call a foul on DeAndre Thomas, I believe. The official being Ross Isley. And that's the second foul on a make from Brampton that will give them another possession. So it could be almost a 5-point swing here after the 3 from Whitfield.
So that was a very big basket for the Brampton A's.
Keem Ellis gets cut off from Anderson. Taishwan Edmondson rising, shooting, scoring.
And now you're seeing the A's start to hit from outside. Consecutive long bombs.
Now Windsor's got to answer. They're down 1 now. 6 straight points on that possession thanks to the foul underneath the basket. And that's the swing we were talking about. Could be 6 points. And then Ellis is charged for a foul off the ball. Well, at least
It's consistent.
It's been very consistent.
It's been
yeah,
consistent.
Absolutely, yeah. Both these guys fight so hard off the ball that it's almost a war sometimes. Like
absolutely, there's no space to give, right?
Anderson for 3 off the mark. Alex with the rebound. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Marcus Oliver in transition knocks down the baseline jumper, and Brampton takes a 3-point lead.
DeAndre got to get some hands up on shots like that when there's space to give.
Bennett finds Anderson. Over to Quinnell Brown for 3. It's good. Big basket ties it up at 45.
Who other than the 24-point per game man, Quinnell Brown?
Ashton Smith gets picked from behind. That was DeAndre Thomas that popped it loose. Anderson in transition, spinning, shooting, blocked by Taishuan Edmondson. Beautiful play, good patience from Taishuan.
Then he gets bounced around like a pinball between a few white jerseys.
Quinnell gets it. Knocked out of bounds by Taishuan Edmondson. And that almost helped Windsor at that time.
Alejandro or Tyrone Crawford?
What?
Who would win in an arm wrestle, you or Tyrone Crawford?
NFL lineman, Alejandro.
Of course, Tyrone Crawford.
Quinnell Brown off the bounce. Can't get the shot to fall. Good look out of the timeout, but nothing doing for the Express. Akeem Ellis off the bounce, straight line drive, loses it. Taishuan Edmondson keeps it, gives it off to Marcus Oliver, and he scores the bucket and gets the foul.
I couldn't begin to tell you who committed that foul because I did not see one.
A lot of bodies. Oliver.
Is that 3 on DeAndre?
Can't be certain, but it could be, definitely.
It's 2 or 3, and he has to take a seat regardless with a $1:03 left in the second.
Marcus Oliver.
We will have those fouls and stats come halftime.
Oliver completes the 3-point play, takes a 3-point lead for Brampton. The final minute before halftime. Pass intended for Anderson is knocked out of bounds by Edmondson, who's been on Anderson like a wet blanket in this quarter.
How can you not be? If you're Magley, that's what you're going to ask for out of defenders because he was shooting the lights out.
TB off the handoff, leaves it short. Offensive rebound, grabbed by Kirk. Big basket right there. Save. Oh, the 3 from Anderson's no good.
Windsor just can't convert right now.
Smith stops in the middle of the key, rotates. Oliver, back-to-back and 1 baskets. Marcus Oliver.
Oliver hesitated and baited Anderson to jump. That's how he got the foul. He's in a really good position to finish that play, and he does. And on the line, chance to extend the lead to 6.
Marcus Oliver knocks it down. 6 straight points from him.
Express looking a little flat here in the last minute or so. Really need a basket.
Bennett back over to Williams. He's at the 3-point line. Back to Bennett. Good defense from Brampton. Gives it over to Commons. Finds Anderson cutting to the basket, and he scores.
Fantastic find by Chris Commons, hitting the cutting Ryan Anderson.
Last shot for Brampton. Offensive foul called on the screen.
Matchup for the Expresses has been and is the toughest group for them over the course of a 7-game series.
Brampton hands off. Taishuan Edmondson kicks it out to Smith in the corner. Knocks it down. Ashton Smith, the Scarborough, Ontario native, making it a 5-point game. Gibson up top, defended by Smith. Trying to find the Express player. He's got Ellis on the far wing. Ellis working his way inside the key. Crossing over, turning, shooting off the glass, no good.
Lots of shake and bake from Jamarcus Ellis.
Ashton off the bounce, off the glass, no good, but he draws a foul. Ashton, Smith on back-to-back possessions.
It's a tough one if you're DeAndre because you're standing in the paint with your hands straight up. You're not moving. Somebody's drifting into you, and they get the call. So it's tough for the 300-pound, 6'8" center, DeAndre Thomas.
Smith misses the first free throw. And always good to see the Canadian players contributing at a high level for these NBL Canada teams. See Bryson Johnson coming off shooting the basketball very well. You got Theo Davis, you got Flenard Whitfield. Oh, sorry, he's not Canadian. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, you've seen it growth all over North America. I mean, people know now that Canada is a home for basketball as much as anybody else.
Absolutely. And no one knows that better than the Brampton AIDS organization. Of course, the Athlete Institute hosts their prep program, and they have some incredible players playing at that school, including Thon Maker and Jamal Murray. You'll see them soon.
That's what's so wonderful about the NBL. We have our own brand of professional basketball right here in Canada.
QB can't knock down the three. Theo Davis with the rebound over to Edmondson. He stops, pops, and knocks down the transition three. It makes it a one-point game.
He had lots of room, and he made it count.
Tyshawn Edmondson. DeAndre setting a screen for Gary, getting the roll pass, working in the middle, rising shooting, can't get it to drop. After scoring the first 6 points of the game, DeAndre Thomas yet to find the bottom of the basket. Smith nearly turns it over, but passes it over to Edmondson.
Ashton Smith.
Lead pass to Kirk Williams. Catches Brampton off guard, and they get an easy 2 points. Williams not afraid to go sky high. He's got a pair of dunks today.
The Express returned fire at the right time. That gave them the 1 point lead, and he got the crowd back into it.
Yes.
Momentum started to shift back in the direction of the Brampton A's as Ryan Anderson gets ready to check in. So he's had some rest. He was really hot in the first half. Be interesting to see what Ryan Anderson's got here in the third.
3:33 to go in the third quarter. Whitfield off the bounce, going against Williams. Travel, says the official.
Turnover. That's at the end of the day, and the Express basketball has a chance to extend the lead. You said it, free throws and turnovers.
Gary Gibson going inside to DeAndre. He faces up on Theo Davis, fakes the shot, sweeps through again, dribbles baseline, finds Williams driving, and draws the foul. Great pass out of the low post from DeAndre Thomas.
As he was pushed out of bounds, and he still was able to make a great pass to Kirk Williams Jr., like you said.
Team 7 at the line.
Williams, or Captain Kirk as he's affectionately known by our humble servant Alejandro.
I wonder if Alex was a fan of the original Star Trek show. And he's a fan of the Captain Kirk part, but he also likes the player because he's awesome, right? We know that.
Of course.
So were you a Star Trek fan?
Kind of.
Yeah. I was.
Williams misses both. Ball knocked out of bounds from QB. And Windsor. Sorry, Brampton takes over possession. Edmondson gets pushed off the line, turns it over. Kirk Williams Jr.'s there again. Slams it home. Captain Kirk going sky high for another jam.
3 dunks now. Another turnover and another 2 points.
Ellis. He knew he was going to get the ball eventually. Driving, shooting, drawing a foul. And it's almost automatic when he gets the ball that he's either getting off a great shot or he's going to get fouled. Great players do that.
He's able to lull guys with the dribble as well, and then he can either punch it to the net or put up the jump shot, but he's fantastic at getting to the rim.
Quinnell Brown sits down. Jamarcus Ellis checks in.
So Akeem Scott been fairly quiet for the Brampton A's.
So there a little bit of discussion going on at the Brampton bench, not sure what.
At the line for Brampton, number 20, Akeem Ellis.
Wondering if Tyshawn Edmondson injured himself. I've seen him stretching his leg out quite a bit. He looked very slowed on the last play, so I have to keep an eye on him.
Of course, Tyshawn, the leader of Game 3, dropping 35 points. And Ellis knocks, and a foul called on the rebound. So Ellis misses both free throws, foul on the rebound going against Marcus Oliver.
Brampton fouls number 21, Marcus Oliver, his second.
And now official Ross Isley bringing over Ellis to talk to him. And a foul is going to be called on the foul. So Oliver is charged with the foul. The recipient of that foul is going to the free throw line. And that is Kirk Williams Jr.
You see DeAndre walking around. He gave Kirk Williams Jr. a little pat on the head, saying good job or something to that degree. Then he goes over and gets talking with Ryan Anderson and Jamarcus Ellis. He's out there just being a leader. And the guys are reciprocating, and that's what they need, and they missed without him. It's showing on the court. Leadership is one of the intangibles in basketball that helps you win championships.
A little bit of delay going on here at the scores table. Williams makes the first shot, so it is a 78-74 score. 2:33 to go. Captain Kirk lines up the free throw and puts it off the heel, rebounded by Whitfield, and over to Smith now. Ellis, straight line drive at the hoop, can't get it to fall in the hands of Oliver. He kicks it out to Tyshawn, and Brampton saves the possession. Beautiful play there from Oliver. Ellis with Williams all over him. Gets a screen from Whitfield, switches off on Anderson, and Kirk's going to be called for fouling Whitfield on the screen and roll.
It's tough to defend this offense. There's lots of motion going on. Screens, guys trying to fight through.
Beautiful
so a lot
offense.
of whistles based on, a lot of aggressive moves to try to get to your defender. So
Absolutely. Space the ball out. Beautiful job by Coach David Magley, taking this team to the cusp of a Central Division championship. One victory away. They currently trail by by two after the free throw from Whitfield. So all respect in the world to Coach David Magley and the Brampton A's. After winning that great 5-game series against London, taking a 3-1 lead here. Anderson almost loses it. He goes inside to DeAndre. Skip pass out to Gary. He drives, dishes, pass is picked off by Whitfield. Whitfield in transition, and one. Beautiful finish at the end of the play. Count the bucket and the foul.
he gives a short right hook to the pad under the, what's that thing called, Brett?
The support, the basket.
Anyway, he pumped up, and rightfully so. This is where we see momentum shift. He was able to tie it up, now potentially take the lead, and points off turnovers, something the Express were doing very well.
Gary Gibson turnover led to that basket. Whitfield finishes the play from the free throw line, and Brampton takes a 1-point lead. Ellis over to Anderson, has the ball stripped. Edmondson with a good defensive play. Over to Ellis. Finishing over to Cavell Johnson for the jam. 3-point lead. Williams in transition. Good job by the Brampton A's to get back. Williams driving, and he draws a foul.
Ryan Anderson looks a little frustrated, and rightfully so. He committed the first turnover, and then he went in for the steal. He tried to go in the pickpocket in the back door and gave up space.
Williams.
Kirk Williams Jr. at the line.
Knocks down the first. I'm looking at the little girl pushing the sweep broom. She's doing a very thorough job underneath the express basket there. Out of the camera shot. Williams toes the second throw and puts it through.
Very important free throws if you're the Windsor Express. Every single one of these count. Both teams being able to get to the line in such a tightly contested contest. Tightly contested game here. Very, very important.
81-80 of the score. Brampton up. Akeem Ellis over to Cavell. Cutting is Ty Schwann. He scores off the glass and makes it a 3-point lead once again.
Ryan Anderson kind of getting caught there again.
Inside to DeAndre. Working his way in the middle of the key. Gets it to fall. Loisel set to check in. No, turnover. DeAndre up the floor to Ellis. Cutting to the basket. Ellis gets fouled hard. Intentional foul called behind the play.
If I had to pick somebody right now as a player of the game thus far, I'm going to say it's Jamarcus Ellis. We got the intentional foul there, so he'll go to the free throw line. He's been awesome off the bench. Lots of buckets, rebounds, energy. He's defended.
Check that out, the run for Rocky 5K. Back to basketball action here. Ellis taking the ball off the bounce, leaves it short. He gets his own rebound, however, pivots around, gets it over to Ashton Smith. Great job underneath the basket from Akeem Ellis. Recycled possession. Ashton Smith leaves it out to Ellis. Knock it down, big fella, you did. Beautiful shot. Takes the 1-point lead for Brampton.
You see what the offensive rebound turned into.
Every possession counts. You see that right now. Brampton taking a 1-point lead. Quinnell Brown off the bounce. Rising, shooting, scoring.
Returning fire, Quinnell Brown. Because we haven't mentioned it, the season is on the line.
Yes.
That's really what this is about. Just over 11 minutes left.
Cavell rising, shooting, leaves it short. Flenard can't grab it. That'll be a turnover for Brampton. Audley, yes. Yeah, big shout out to Audley Stevenson. Quinnell Brown off the bounce, it's good.
QB opening up the fourth quarter with 4 points. And what a leader he's a person that's going to step up for you in these situations every time.
Ashton Smith kicks it out to Flenard. And of course, that's the 90th point of the night, Mitchell. We'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, push from behind coming against Kirk.
When the Express get 90 points, Tony Bennett said he was going to give me his 13s.
No, that of course being that every time the Express score 90 points or more, home fans get to redeem their coupons, their tickets, pardon me, for a free small Frosty. As the three-pointer is off the mark, but another recycled possession for Brampton gives them another opportunity. Ellis over to Whitfield, crossing over, beautiful move. Rising, shooting, can't knock it down though.
Thank God he didn't finish that.
Beautiful crossover. Gibson at the helm. Passes it over to Bennett. Bennett turning at the three-point line, gives it over to Commons.
Do you know how I knew he was going to be hot in the second half? I watched him warming up at halftime, and they were all falling. Good to see Commons points on the board.
Three-pointer from Smith off the mark. Cavell with the rebound. But a foul going to be called underneath the basket. That's going to go against Gary, 14. Yeah, Gary Gibson.
Yeah, Tony Bennett came in and scooped up the rebound.
Yeah.
Had there been no foul called,
And the Windsor native would love nothing more than to give the Express a 12-point lead right now.
which I think would likely be the biggest of the game for the Express.
Yes. Gibson gets this friendly roll. Gibson can't get the second roll to go. Splits the trip. Chris Commons nearly got his hands on that offensive rebound.
He's all over the place.
Akeem Scott driving to the hole, has his shot deflected. Out of bounds by DeAndre. And just to make sure, official Ross Isley checks back with Paul Carter. He says, is that out? Is it off of Windsor? And he agrees.
That's what I seen as well.
Gotta love it when they do that. Bryson Johnson off the set piece knocks down the three.
A big basket for the Brampton A's.
Huge.
And a three-pointer at that. Exactly what they needed.
You know that Brampton's going to make a run sometime in the next 6 minutes. You got to score to counter. Tony Bennett gets Commons. Yep, he's going to shoot, and he's going to score.
And that is Chris Commons' spot.
You can get him right at the edge of the Windsor Express logo and he'd probably knock that down.
He was a little further out there, but still.
Long three, big basket for the Express. They go up by 11. Ty Schwann off the bounce, draws the foul. Relentless pressure. Relentless driving by the Brampton A's. Great offense.
Strong shooting, too. The Express making things count. They're getting good looks, and they're making Brampton pay for giving them to them.
Edmondson to the free throw line. 5:11 to go.
They haven't really had to rely on one or two players. Everybody's chipped in. And when that happens, they win the basketball games.
DeAndre with the missed free throw rebound. So it is a 10-point game. Gibson working against Edmondson. Gets a pair of screens. Gets set back up. Gives it over to Commons. Beautiful finish, Chris Commons.
He's feeling it right now.
The beautiful reverse pivot. And there's Scott right to the rim. Wow.
My God.
Time him on the 40-yard dash. You might call him a football player, but he's got a basketball in his hands, and he scores in a hurry to make it a 10-point game again.
And that's exactly what he needed to do for his team.
Pew! Beautiful. Speed kills. Windsor slowing it down now. DeAndre double team, kicks it out to Commons. Wide open three.
This guy is out of his mind right now.
He's been a great playoff contributor. One of the highest scoring guys in franchise history. The first to get 1,000 points for the team.
He did this last year.
Yep, and there's Scott with a big three to quiet down the crowd a bit.
What I found in the playoffs was Commons was a guy that always came to bat when the Express needed something big to happen, and he did it again tonight.
113-103 the score. 3:45 to go. Gibson gets a screen from Quinnell. Looking inside, goes inside, draws a double team, and draws a foul. And if that's on Scott, no, they're going to call it against Oliver. No, that's Akeem Scott. And that means he's fouled out of the game. Wow.
He needs to be careful or there'll be a technical.
Oh, okay. Now after reconfirming, it is going to be Marcus Oliver with the foul. So Scott's going to stay in the game. No, the officials came together. They decided it was Marcus. Gotta love the passion that these guys are showing, though. Bennett off the bounce.
They're goaltending.
Yep. It was in the cylinder on its way down, so
yeah, that's Tony Bennett's basket.
I'm not 100% sure of the FIBA rule, but Obviously, you can't do that. I know that you can touch it if it's on the rim, I believe.
It was going to roll down.
Windsor with a 12-point lead. Oliver fakes the handoff, drives left, stops, turns around, shoots, leaves it short.
Flenard Brown with a great rebound. The Express firing on all cylinders.
Jamarcus Ellis set to come back in. Gary Gibson going inside to DeAndre. He draws the double team, trying to find a cutter. Oh, a little bit of an elbow there. Commons for three. No, off the side.
The roof would have came off this place if that thing had a foul. Whoa.
And then a foul is going to be called on Oliver for the moving screen. And then a technical.
Yeah, that was definitely a foul. Tony Bennett, tough cookie, got right up.
Yeah, it was a hard screen for sure, but I don't know if they wanted to see that at half court, right? I don't know. It depends.
He was moving.
If you're moving, yes. So the idea is there. He just didn't.
I think he wanted to come to a dead stop, but he didn't get a chance to because he met him in the middle.
Yeah, and Marcus Oliver being a much bigger guy than Tony Bennett. Bennett got launched a little bit to make it even clearer. There's a lot of contact there.
If you're the Brampton A's, though, you want to be real careful of those things. You're giving up baskets, free throws, and possessions, and then the frustration. So, good news if you're the Windsor Express. Tony Bennett out there taking a beating.
Yeah. Sacrificing the body, that's for sure. Marcus Oliver just trying to set a really hard screen. Just got there a little too late, I guess. Bennett for three. That's good. No, did not go through.
Whoa. Optical illusion.
Tyshawn Edmondson. Oh, what a putback from Cavell. That's why I love this game.
Yeah, he is. He's been quiet, but when he has scored, the baskets have all been beautiful.
Yeah, 11 points, not too much of a deficit that the Brampton can't handle. So let's. It's all about time management now. Commons in the low post, off his set, and he travels. Yep. A little bit of a hand check, yes. But
so if the Bennett three had a fell, the optical illusion, it looked like it dropped.
It did, yes.
And that probably would have put it without reach.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fall.
Yes.
Everybody gets a little bit confused. They come back down the other end, and Cavell gets the dunk, and now here we are.
Huge dunk from Cavell. That was a big play. Whitfield off the bounce, stopping at the three-point line. Picks up the dribble, gives it over to Scott. And the putback is good from Whitfield. The initial shot was missed, but Whitfield knocks down the offensive board. And Windsor's got a buck 43 with a 9-point lead. Gibson. Windsor trying to survive. And Tony gets fouled on the cut. So that is going to go against Akeem Scott.
He is done.
Yes. And they're just a bunch of, those are just, sorry, no, I'm talking about the tenacity of these players.
Oh, yeah.
Great players, yes.
They haven't played like they're even paying attention.
No.
It's just completely irrelevant to them.
Every possession, it's a war.
You can't tell those types of players to stop or slow down or whatever. Like, they are who they are. You know, they're tough. They're all heart.
And Akeem Scott has been officially fouled out. Quennell Brown and Jamarcus Ellis having a chat. QB getting subbed out.
So depending on what happens here with the couple free throws, manageable to close this out. Buck 35 left. Might get interesting.
Yes, absolutely. Never say die for the Brampton A's.
As Tony Bennett misses the first.
Yes, makes it even more interesting now. We've seen leads dwindle in mere seconds.
It's at least a 3-possession game.
That's a big point, makes it a 10-point game. Good defense from Jamarcus Ellis. Ashton Smith in the corner to Cavell. Long on the rebound. And Gibson is going to be charged with a foul underneath the basket.
I like
for boxing out.
I like what Tony Bennett did there. He stopped, gave him a prompt to stop talking. You don't want to get a technical in these situations.
Absolutely not. 1:27 to go. 10-point lead for Windsor in Game 5. A must-win game for them. Trying to send this to Game 6. Bryson Johnson for 3. It's good. He faked Jamarcus Ellis out of his shoes on that one.